Hey everyone, it's Stella Grizont, and this week we are going to talk, or I'm going to share one of my favorite communication slash relationship tools with you. It's called active constructive responding. You will be a master at this as soon as we are done, and hopefully be able to lift up the quality of your relationships with your team, your loved ones, your friends right away. So, what is active constructive response? Shelly Gable and her colleagues discovered or found that there's generally four ways that we respond to people when we hear their good news. And interestingly, she found that how we respond to other people's good news actually has a greater impact on our relationship with them than how we show up for them when they have bad news to share. You would think, oh, it really matters how I show up for folks when they're really down. But actually, when it comes to impacting their well-being, their life satisfaction, just the quality of how you two connect, it's really about good news. So there's four types of responses you can have to someone's good news. I'm going to take you through each. I bet you've been the receiver and giver of each of these styles, but what we ultimately want to go for is active constructive. I have a color coding system for you guys today. I'm going to draw. This is going to be like, what? Okay, so here's my little chart. Oh, I guess you're going to be reading backwards. I didn't think of that. All right, well, this will be good enough. Okay, it's simple. So first I want to start with the worst of the worst ways that you can respond when someone has good news to share. And that would be active destructive. So this quadrant right here. So let's imagine my husband tells me, oh my God, I'm getting a promotion. This is so exciting. He comes home and he's so excited about this new raise. And I respond in an active destructive way. And I'm like, what? You got a promotion? That means you're going to be working even later all the time. This means you're not going to be able to support and take care of Lenore. This is horrible. Like, why would you even want this? Okay, so what do you notice about that response? I am actively squashing his good news. I'm actively raining on his parade. I'm having him doubt that this is good news to begin with. So I'm sure you have probably been in this situation. So active constructive response makes us feel really crappy, really crappy. So next, slightly better, I'm gonna whip out the orange marker for you guys. Slightly better, but still not great, is passive destructive. So you're passively destroying someone's buzz. So let's imagine my husband comes home, he says he got great news, he got a promotion, and I might be like, what do you want for dinner? Right? So I'm completely ignoring him. I am not acknowledging his good news at all. And so that also casts doubt on his experience, and he totally feels like his parade is being rained on as well, but I'm not being so intentionally angry with him, right? So that's passive destructive. Passive destructive. Sorry, I didn't learn how to write backwards on this one. All right, so a little bit better than that, we're gonna go with the blue, is passive constructive. So think about the word constructive. So it's about building up. So if he comes home, oh my God, I got this raise, this promotion, so exciting. Passive constructive would be like, oh, that's nice. So what do you want to do for dinner? Right? So I'm acknowledging, but not really. It's like dismissive, right? So dismissive, it's not fun. So it's kind of like, small smiley face. That still looks a little too happy, but I'll make the next one happier. So the ultimate response that you guys want to give to your coworkers, your team, to your family, your children, your friends, when they have good news to share, goes something like this. So if my husband comes home or now he's working from home all the time, and he's like, oh my God, I got this raise. You're just locked into them and you're like, oh my God, that is amazing. Tell me all about it. I know you worked so hard for this and I'm so excited for you. Tell me all the details. So notice I'm really present. I would be making eye contact with him, giving him all my attention. I would be leaning in, really listening, asking him questions, allowing him to savor. Last week, we did a whole video on savoring, which is our antidote to the darkness that is, which is about really expanding on the goodness of life. And we all need to savor as well as we need to cope. And so watch that video if you haven't already. And P.S., are you subscribed to this channel? If not, click subscribe and that little bell so you get notified. So we talked about savoring, and to savor is to notice, acknowledge the goodness, and expand on it. And you can capitalize on that savoring, take it to the next level by sharing your good news with someone. So if someone is entrusting you with their good news, that is a privilege. That is a privilege that they're sharing their good news with you. And so you want to be really happy for them. Really, 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 really happy for them. So that's my ecstatic, active, constructive response. So you're really, really happy for them. You're leaning in, you're asking them questions, you're asking them to replay it all, talk it all through. Just go through that ride one more time. Why not just suck all the juice out of this good event and really, really enjoy it? And so that is the biggest gift we can give to our loved ones, to our colleagues, to any human, is to help them revel in their special moment. And what that does is it increases life satisfaction. It makes them feel happier. It seals the bond between you two. And it's just life-giving. It really impacts overall well-being. And we know that from research. So this is so important now, especially in a time where it's so easy to focus on everything that's wrong. So whenever you stumble upon a treasure of good news, really lean in, help expand it, savor it with that person, and give them the gift of your presence. Now, what if you don't feel like it? I will tell you, there were a few times. Now, I gave an example, but kind of cool. That was like a fake example, but I did this month. If you've been watching my videos, know I did a whole segment on mental load, where I was personally overwhelmed with childcare and workload this month because my husband actually had a pretty big project. And he actually did have some good news to share with me. He shared that his work would be like helping impact a really big decision at his company. He would be presenting to the CEO, and he was really excited about it. Now, because I was not in a good mood, I actually delayed the active constructive response. So one of the most important things about ACR, with active constructive response, is that it's authentic. So someone will know if you're faking it, right? And that doesn't feel good either. So you really want to be authentically present. And if you can't muster that in the moment, then just acknowledge that, wow, I know this is such a big deal and I'm really happy for you on the inside. But right now, I can't really be present and celebrate. I want to do that, but I just need like a day to get into that mode. So you can be real. You don't have to push your truth aside, but you want to acknowledge that person in the moment and say, oh, I know this is such a big deal and I really want to celebrate this with you. Just right now, I don't have it in me, but let's create some special time, at dinner, right? And what happens if you don't really care about this good news? You don't really get why it's good news, right? That happens too, especially if you aren't knowledgeable about what this person is celebrating. Well, you don't really have to know the details because you can just ask about the details. So you can say, you can just reflect back on what you're noticing. Oh my God, I can see how important this is to you and how energized you are. Tell me about it. Like what does this mean for you? And so by asking questions and being curious, you're still allowing them to relive the experience, and you are authentically curious and learning about it. And that's going to enable you to get into the zone with them as well. So I hope this helps you savor, expand upon the positive moments, especially in this challenging time. I wish you all goodness, safety, well-being. If you like this video, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.